Hello, welcome back to Seagulls Social, episode 35, season 2. I always mess this up now, we've got the season 2 thing, but obviously, yeah, it's weird. But obviously, we are with Maz, myself, Maz, mate. No Ben today. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But how are you, mate? How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm a little bit tired, but it's not the end of the world. And yeah, Ben, he's got he's got tonsillitis.
Tonsillitis, yeah. Right? I used to have that when I was younger. It is horrible, so I can see why it doesn't want to come on. It is nasty.
Thankfully, I've never had it, but yeah, I can imagine it's not great.
Fun.
Is it just? Do you just get like a really bad? Like, is it just a really?
Yeah, and you can get like all like fever.
Or am I underplaying it?
Can be a bit. Nah, to be fair, okay. It is pretty nasty. Like, I think my dad had his tons. That was great, but yeah. But mate, you talk about your night last night because it looked mad. Because it's going to be more exciting than the game anyway. But your night last night is like my dream. So you basically lived my dream. I'd do that in my dreams, let alone doing it in my real life.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty sick. So yeah, I was very grateful. Obviously it's fight week, isn't it? Fury White. So as part of that, we went to the BT Tower, and it was basically like a media dinner, so to speak. So like all the media was there, and Lennox Lewis was there, Joseph Parker, and Fletch from BT Sport commentary team. So he was on my table, and Parker was meant to be on our table as well, like at dinner, but he sort of just did what he wanted, which is fair enough. You can't really argue with Joseph Parker
can't say anything,
on that one. So do you want? Joseph, sorry mate, I think you meant to sit next to me. And then and it was just a mad night. Like, so I ended up being on a night out with Joseph Parker and Fletch from BT Sport, which was just bizarre. And yeah, I got a picture of Lennox Lewis, which was mad. Interviewed Parker as well. And then what else happened?
You saw Tyson Fury weigh-in, didn't you?
Pretty much, yeah. And then obviously, Yeah, going to the weigh-in today. Going to Tyson Fury weigh-in today, and then going fight night tomorrow. Going fight night tomorrow. So yeah, mate. Yeah, blessed, and it was really good fun. Just it's all very mind blowing. Like hearing Fletch just at the table, just speaking as a commentator. I'm like, you did the Champions League final, the Europa League final. We
were just talking off air about how iconic these commentators' voices are. You don't appreciate it until you actually speak to one, and like you listen to them, you're just like, oh my god, I know your voice. And for some reason, you get really starstruck by the fact that they're actually a commentator rather than like a superstar. You sort of expect it, but with a commentator, you just don't. But it's really cool. But no, to be honest, mate, that sounds mad, and it's going to be a lot more exciting than the City game, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Obviously, I'm not going to be really negative. I'm not going to come on and just be like, oh, we were really bad. Like, we played against Man City, for God's sake, at the Etihad. We've got to, take a bit of pride out of the fact we didn't get completely humiliated. But I mean, I don't know what we expected really. I think we expected to lose. Maz, what was your initial takes on the game? Did you watch the game? Because obviously you've been a busy guy. But yeah, what was your take?
Unfortunately, obviously, I didn't go there because I've been busy with work and stuff. But I watched the game, and it was look, like you said, we all predicted it on our predictions. We were like, I think I said 2-0. You said,
I think I said 2 as well.
Remind me. Yeah, 2-0 as well. So, we all expected us to lose. And I thought first half, even though, if you want to look at stats and you want to do your XG and stuff, they dominated us first half in terms of, chances created. But we locked them out. We kept them out. We did our job. That's all you can ask for, from the team. And I was pretty happy with the first half. And then second half, not to say I wasn't happy, but just obviously, things just... they got 2 very lucky goals. Obviously, we'll get into the goals. But for me, the first 2 were just super lucky. Like, they got the luck of the bounce to the Mahrez one. And then the second one, again, Foden, deflection. Like, what can you do?
It's so bright, isn't it? Like, that's how
And then the third one was a great goal.
Yeah, that's how I judged it. I was like, this is the most Brighton thing that could have happened. 2 deflected goals. It was giving me complete sort of, in the worst nostalgia way possible, nostalgia of... that first season in the Prem, and when we first got promoted, and we would go to these away games, and we'd play so well, we'd shut them out, we'd look quite comfortable, and then we'd just get hit with 2 of the most unlucky goals you've ever seen. Like, that is just the most Brighton thing that could possibly happen. But no, to be honest, first half, let's talk about first half, because obviously I was quite happy, as I say. I thought, 0-0 against City, I didn't expect us to go on and probably even not concede, but the fact that we shut them out for that amount of time, I mean, it was quite reassuring. To me, anyway, because I feel like, we were talking before about how, Brighton looked like they were on a bit of a slump, and then we come on this high, and how we reacted to City was going to be quite telling as well. But we seem like we've still got our styles of play here and there. I mean, we went a bit Sean Dyche for a part of the game, but I think we still had our little glimpses, and when we wanted to attack, like, it did work. But I don't know. It didn't really look like we put them under too much pressure, but then you wouldn't expect it too much. But we looked like we were still in the game somewhat, if you know what I'm trying to say. We didn't get completely humiliated.
I think that's a nail on the head. It's like we gave ourselves a chance at half time. So that's all you can, against Man City. That's all you can ask for. As long as you're in the game, come 45 minutes, half time. You're second half, anything can happen. Obviously, it didn't go our way, and we lost 3-0. But like you said, nail on head. That gave us at least some kind of hope going into the second half. Oh, we're 0-0 against City here. Can we sneak a result? And coming off the back of it, like you said, coming off the back of a great result against Spurs and Arsenal, 2 great results, confidence was high. And I was pleasantly surprised we were still in the game come half time. Yeah, like I said, 2 very lucky goals, and then a great finish by Bernardo Silva, who's just a magician. Can't really complain, can we?
No, I mean, when we get onto the goals, really, because we could talk about a singular performance. Obviously, I think Caicedo takes the plaudits, and he should do for the next weeks to come. I mean, the impact this boy has had has been absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it's literally like Anthony Knockaert back in 2016 when we first signed him. It's that level of impact, the sort of thing he's produced. It's been unbelievable. The energy he gives, we spoke about it last time, the energy he gives, but more so to the fact he looks so much more composed. Every single game he's playing looks more and more composed. And against City, I mean, he saved us on a couple of occasions. That slide-in challenge in the box was mad. And then obviously that little clearance as well. But he was there for everything. He was always there. He was a bit of a nuisance to play against. Obviously, second half, I think City just outclassed us a bit. But, I mean, overall, Moises Caicedo, Maz, mate, what a player.
Mate, he's so exactly what you said as well. It's like, I knew he was good, or I knew he was, the way Phil Vickery bigged him up, all these, big scouts in the Europe, whatever, like saying about how good he is and how good he will be. But I don't think we quite realised how good he is and how much. He's not even hit his. I reckon he's probably at 20%, 30% of.
Yeah, mate, he's like 20 years old, like 21 years old. It's mad.
Yeah, which is like the scary thing to think that he's still nowhere
he's
near
younger than
fully developed in his footballing ability. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's a scary thought, or what was it, scary hours, as Jadon Sancho would say. It's scary hours for everyone in the league, I think, because it's mad. Like, he's 20 years of age. He's bossing midfields against Arsenal, Spurs, and putting in a decent performance against Man City. Like, how many 20-year-olds are doing that? Do you know what I mean? So, I'm really excited about how he's going to progress, how Potter manages him, how, does Basuma stay? Does he play with Basuma? There's so many questions going into next season, I think.
Well, mate, I think that Basuma,
I don't know what you think.
This is the future, isn't it? I look at it, right, and I look at Basuma, and this isn't a slander on Basuma, but when he first came in, he was quite raw, and, he didn't get played all the time, particularly his first season. He didn't really have... He had an impact, but not probably as much as Caicedo has. I look at Caicedo and I just think, my God, he is like actually ready now. And like he's 20 years old and he's ready to just be a regular in the first team. Basuma had to be sort of eased in. Yes, he played under Houghton, so it's a bit more of a, he played a bit of a flat 4 sort of thing. Potter probably got the best out of him. But under Caicedo, he just come straight in and been like, you know what, no, this is my place. I deserve to be in this team. And he's really, really, really proved it. And that's, I think, the difference. He really does have a ceiling that's like, it's insane.
Yeah. And you talk about deserving to be there. I think that's that little bit of like South American cockiness as well. Not cockiness, but like a
Flyer.
belief, an assurance in his own ability. And like he believes in his own ability, and I think that shows through his game. Like the way he plays, you can tell he believes in himself. And I think for any young player, like you need that to, especially in the Premier League, coming up against the likes of Man City, Arsenal.
Yeah, he's against De Bruyne, isn't he, and stuff like that. He's not against bums. So to play like he did is unbelievable.
Yeah, like party. No, like exactly. Like you say, like Man City's a different breed. To come up and put a decent shift in, albeit we lost 3-0. Like to stand out. Yeah, I'll take.
I mean, last piece on Caicedo was I put a tweet on pretty much this time last year when we signed him last January, 2021. We signed him, and obviously we saw that video that did the rounds. I put a tweet on about it in January last year about him at the airport with his parents, crying his eyes out, but leaving his leaving his home, from Ecuador. And he was 18 there, and he's leaving his home. Yeah, 18 years old, leaving, Ecuador to come all the way to Brighton in a city, a country that you've never been to, you don't know a single person, you don't speak the language, to come over here and actually do that at that age is absolutely unthinkable. Like, I couldn't even comprehend that for me, like, at that age doing that. I couldn't even do it now, to be honest.
Yeah.
And you just see that and you're just like, yeah, you deserve every bit of praise you get. And that's what I think the sacrifices that these young players make, South Americans in particular, you're coming from the other side of the planet and you're coming over here to, try and perform. You got half a chance, of getting in the team, and, fair play to Brighton for giving him that chance. But my God, it must have just been unbelievable. So for him to get the praise he's getting right now must be like living his dream. Only a year on as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. And also as well, I think the fact that obviously Jeremy Sarmiento as well is in. Sarmiento. It tells you how tired I am. I can't even get my words out. Sarmiento. The fact that he was there and like he can help him. I think that's been key as well. Like having that fellow countryman just in the squad with you and knowing that he's also potentially going to be in this team soon. They must have that like sort of like brotherhood, that nice kind of like.
Both similar ages as well.
Just to be like they're both it must be like you said. It must be such a nice feeling that the sacrifices that they've made have been worth it. Do you know what I mean? Because they both had their sort of different journeys, right? It must be like sick. Like as two young internationals as well. Like to be playing for Brighton in the Premier League must just be crazy.
And actually, on Sarmiento, he came on actually just for a little brief appearance in the second half. He looked a bit lively again. I mean, what I like about him so much is the fact that he just isn't afraid of just running at a defence. I mean, that's something that we haven't really had at Brighton for a good few years now. Someone that just gets the ball and runs straight away.
Screaming out for it.
Yeah, just someone so direct. And that is what Sarmiento is. And to be fair, okay, he hasn't really had much of a chance. But whenever he comes on, he looks like, it's hard to get the ball off him. It's not easy to just tackle him. He gets on the ball and he just runs. So against City, to come on and have a go like that was quite reassuring as well. So I'm looking at this game, I'm taking the positives because it isn't a game where I look at it and I think there's loads and loads of negatives, to be honest. I think apart from the fact we're outclassed second half, I mean, yes, we gave the ball away for their third goal or something, but I wouldn't take too much into it. I sort of look at it and think there's so much to be sort of happy about in the game, which sounds ridiculous at 3-0 down.
No, mate, 100% agree with you. I think, like, look, we all knew it was a free hit. We all went into it without being defeatist / negative. We all knew we were going to lose, right? Like, let's be real about it. But the way I look at it, like you said, so we had, a great performance from Caicedo, an appearance from Sarmiento, Webster as well, getting a few more minutes under his belt. Exactly. So, like, I just see the benefits of playing against Man City with certain players coming back, certain players playing. Like you said, you've got to look at the positives. When you play Man City, what's the point of being like, oh, we lost 3-0 against City? Like, let's dissect it. This was shit. It's like, what do you get out of that? Because Man City are an elite team. They're like, Liverpool and Man City are just in a world of their own.
They are sort of like Barcelona of 2012, like that is the levels we're at. It's like, it's literally like us playing them then. And it's the same thing.
Exactly. Like there's no point of being like, like what do we do wrong against City? Because City are a different breed. Like if you're playing against anyone else in the league, Liverpool and Man City might as well make their own league because what's the point? Like they might as well just have their little their own little mini league, and everyone else just fights out from third to 20th. We might as well just set it up, boys. Because what's the point? But actually, I think just playing them is good.
Yeah. While we're on positives, then I want to talk about Lewis Dunk because he's looked pretty decent. I think since we've he had a bit of a run, didn't he, where he's a bit we're a bit like, oh, it's just, Lewis Dunk, is his injury really going to ruin him off? Because I think a lot of people were quite worried about that. He came back from injury a bit shaky. He probably didn't have the best start to the season either. It's been a bit of a weird season for Lewis Dunk. But this last sort of few weeks, he's really looked like the Lewis Dunk of last season, where I was rightfully saying that he should be in the England team. But now I don't think he warrants England team. I don't think he should be in the World Cup or anything at the moment. Yeah. But I think that, I don't think anyone plays to, yeah. No, but the last few weeks he's been pretty good. Like I think at City he had that little chest, like he did at Leeds last season. He had a few moments like that, and I thought, he looks all right again.
Did you see the shoulder barge he did? Yapping.
Yes. BHAFC, that's what we're gonna get onto. Yeah,
it was the he just literally. Yeah, oh mate, it was amazing, and they put the what's the song called? Smash Bros, is it? Well, the Shrek song, and they just put they dubbed that over it. And he just absolutely bodies Diaz. But sorry, back to his actual performance. I think, look, we as Brighton fans, we know how good Lewis Dunk is. Like, we know the qualities he possesses. I know you're a big fan of his chests, his control. His all round game. We know how good he can be. Obviously, we've all questioned his sometimes his lack of his moments of what's the word I'm trying to look for?
Lose his head at times.
Concentration, like lapses of concentration sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he got sent off. Was it? Who did he get sent off against?
A few weeks ago now.
Man United. Man United got red card. Man United. Got sent off against Man United. And he just has his moments where you're like, oh, come on, Dunky, you're better than that. However, in saying that, he's got us out of plenty of holes. His goal line clearances on his day. Loves a goal line clearance. A leader. Like we always talk about, we need that leader in the dressing room and on the pitch. He is that. He epitomises that. So we know how good he is. It's just sometimes his consistency and lack of concentration lets him down. And unfortunately, he's been a bit hot and cold this season. And he's obviously, I think he's had his injury concerns as well. Yeah,
I don't think the injuries helped. Obviously it was a big injury. I think he done his knee in, didn't he? Was it his knee? So I do, it is a massive injury, especially at 30 years old to get. It's a hard one, but he's been pretty good, I think, last few weeks. But it's about that thing with Diaz. So you see him arguing after the game with Diaz. He was literally confronting him for about a solid 5 minutes, having an argument after the game. And I was just like, this is just meme quality right here. Oh, you didn't see it? That was just absolute class. I was like, that is the moment that you can screenshot that. I didn't screenshot it. I should have done. And it's like, that is it. Like, all the memes you could have made out of that are ridiculous about Dunk being better than Diaz. But no, to be fair, he's been good. Recently, I've got to give him credit where it's due. I think with Webster coming back into the team gradually, it's important that we have Lewis Dunk alongside him, because neither of them have really been consistently in the team this season. That's been a big part of our sort of defensive troubles. But I don't know. I don't think there's too much to really be too upset about. Obviously, we'll get on to the goals now. It was just so unlucky. It was just so Brighton, as I say, to concede in the way we did. We shut them out for so long. Was it Mahrez got the first? But it was about 3 deflections on the way through, and it takes a big deflection of Veltman. It goes over Sanchez. I mean, it was just the most Brighton thing I could possibly have seen to happen,
Yeah, I mean, I think the teams like Brighton, it was very frustrating to watch because, what's it called? We've done so well to keep in the game, and I'm not saying we were going to go on to win or we were going to go on to even get a draw. No. I'm not saying that. However,
for a bit of belief, it would have been nice to stay on a bit longer than that, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm saying, and for that lucky goal, jammy goal, it's just like, for the player, as a fan, I'm like, for fuck's sake. But imagine as a player, to concede, concede in such a sloppy. Yeah, in such a sloppy, sort of horrible way, and you must be thinking, "Oh my god!" We're 1-0 down to City now. Where do we go from here? And then to get a second sloppy goal or a lucky goal with Foden's, a big heavy deflection. After that, you must be thinking, right? It's just not our day. It's not our day. Let's not to say they packed it in, but no, exactly that. It's do we just give up now? The luck's not against us. The luck's against us. We're not going to win this game. And then obviously they score a really good third. And then, I think it was just really frustrating, I think is the word.
For mentality's sake, it's hard to take, I think, the most. It's just one of those, I always talked about in the past about heads dropping. And against City away, and you get a goal like that, it is so easy for heads to drop. I even got a comment on my Twitter in the week saying it's easy for, they're human beings at the end of the day, to concede like we did was so harsh. And then obviously the second goal, Foden, it's just a massive deflection off Mwepu. Sanchez already on the floor by the time it's hit Mwepu, and then it's gone the other side of him. It was just so unfortunate because as I say, we played pretty well until that point, but obviously overall City deserve to win. They are next level, second gear to us. But I just think that if we didn't concede that Mahrez goal at the beginning, and even that Foden goal, I say that sounds really. I just realised how what's his name, Michael Owen, that sounded. If we didn't concede, we might have done all right. But it's the way we conceded those two goals. Obviously, the third one was a bit more. Yes, it was a mistake, but they finished it very, very, very well. But I don't know. It was just. It just frustrates me because it's so Brighton, and it's been a thing for so long, isn't it? You even look back at the Championship days, and it's like. That is the most Brighton thing that could have happened. If we had a big day against Arsenal or something in the cup, the way we would concede would be a big fat deflection off one of our defenders, and it would go the other way, or in a big game. Again, like Grealish, for example, in the game against Villa when we lost the league. It's just such a Brighton thing to do, go through Stockdale's legs on the last day in the last game. But I don't know, it was just such a Brighton thing.
Oh, mate, no, mate, you talk about the Championship days, mate. What's it called? What's his name? The Newcastle player. Who scored that fucking ridiculous goal?
Yeah, Diarme. And that was on my birthday. That was on my 16th.
Diarme, mate, I watched that goal go in. I was like, what just happened? When
Literally.
It looped in, I was like, how? Like, we're going to talk about fucking mad goals. We've been on the end of a few absolute howlers. Diarme's goal against us was just mental. But
the thing is, right, we always say about deflections and like heavy goals that we can see. I think you even said it a couple of weeks ago that it's just we always concede such stupid goals, and it's been a theme forever. Like any manager, any team, any Brighton player that's ever existed has experience. We could probably interview any player of the last 10 years and get them on this podcast, and they'd say, yeah, we conceded some absolute howlers at times. And I don't know why. Because we don't get that in our favour. I don't think I can remember the last lucky goal. We have to work so much harder than the opposition to score every time. And I don't know. It's always been a Brighton thing. That's always been how it's been.
I mean, we've had a bit obviously we've had a bit of luck. Like I think luck and sort of in terms of Leicester, for example, that's a good example. We had a bit of luck with
Leicester
VAR. Which is like luck in that sense. We've had a bit, but when it comes to goals, I feel like we're definitely on the back.
The last big loopy goal that we've scored that goes over the heads of everyone. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, no, and in that sense, we don't really seem to have the luck of the draw when it comes to that kind of stuff. But it is just frustrating as a fan when you see those kind of goals go in. I'm just like, why? Like, that's not deflected over, or could that not hit the post? Or why does it have to go past Sanchez like that? It's just one of those things.
But to be honest, I'll get back on a positive note because obviously I'm not going to just talk about. We spoke about the goals briefly. I don't want to go too much into them because I think the third goal particularly. It was poor from Mwepu. It was poor from Sanchez. It was a kick that was a bit aimless. Went towards Mwepu. He missed it. He was caught lacking a little bit there. City capitalised with quality and abundance, good passing. Bernardo Silva finished it so well. I can't explain as to how difficult that finish actually was from Bernardo Silva. He made it look so easy, where he passed it past Sanchez in the end. But it was just a moment where you can't do that against Man City. And like we say about, letting them off the hook a little bit, but that was just stupidity. Like that was just a loss of heads, loss of concentration. Yeah. We're 2-0 down. The heads have dropped at that point. We've done an aimless pass out. Murphy's missed it. And, if you do it against Bernardo Silva, who's by far one of the best players in the world at the moment, he's going to score, isn't he? I mean, it's a bit of a given. But, yeah, Maz, what'd you take of that third goal, mate?
Yeah. So, do you know what? When we played them at the Amex and they beat us, was it 4-0?
4-1.
I
think we
scored. 4-1. 4-1, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Bernardo Silva, did he? No, he didn't actually, but he was instrumental. He got an assist.
He was massive. Like he was unreal against us at the Amex.
Basically, he was unreal for them. Like he just tore us apart at the Amex, and like I just felt like with the likes of Bernardo Silva, like you mentioned about the carelessness from Sanchez and Wepu, you just can't give players like Bernardo Silva those kind of opportunities. I know he scored from 25 yards or whatever, but 30 yards. I don't think it was that far out. But anyway, he's struck it from quite far out. I'm not saying we've I'm not saying we've given him an open goal or anything like that. But you can't give these kind of players opportunities like that because they will punish you. Yeah, they will punish you. They will, simply as that. Top quality players, which Man City have in abundance. You just got to look through their squad. Even their bloody,
they're under 23s. Half are probably good enough to play in the Premier League. It's not even a joke.
Mate. Was it Liam? Rory Delap? Or no, Liam Delap. The striker. He's good enough to play for. He's good enough to play up front for us. Do you know what I mean? So it just shows the amount of abundance they have of quality in their squad. You can't give any of their players any kind of sniff at goal, which unfortunately Mwepu and Sanchez did. We got they capitalised on it, and it was a great finish. But look, like you said, it's nothing to be. I don't think it's. We need to obviously cut out those little mistakes, but I don't think against Man City, I can sort of let it go a little bit more than, let's say, a Palace or someone that we want to beat. Do you know what I mean? Someone we know we can beat. Whereas City, I'm it's a no contest. Just happy to go in there, take a 1-0 or a 2-0 and go on our travels.
So I want to just change the subject a little bit. It's a topic that come up, I think, on Twitter. Shout out to BHAFC Sahil. I should say your name because Sahil, you're the goat, mate.
Yep.
But shout out to Sahil for this tweet because he brought up about Neal Maupay and about. Maupay hasn't really been in the team. We're questioning whether he's, we're better without him. Now we're saying, is it time for him to come back? So that's how quickly football changes. And obviously he came on for a bit against City. Sports had actually tweeted it as well, saying Brighton striker Neal Maupay has scored one goal in his last 1,031 minutes of action from Boxing Day onwards. He averages 0.13 expected goals from non-penalties per 90 minutes played. So maybe a striker isn't the only issue for Brighton, essentially referring to the fact that he hasn't had much chances given to him, considering the fact he's only had 0.1% of 0.1 expected goals stat. He hasn't really had the chances made for him. And obviously, since Maupay's been out of the team, we've arguably been creating more chances with Alexis McAllister Caicedo now playing. Is it time for him to come back? Welbeck had a decent day out, to be fair. I wouldn't say he was awful. Is it time for Welbeck to be dropped to give Maupay a go against Southampton? Because Maupay does love a goal against the Saints. Is it a time for him to have a go? Because he hasn't really had the chances since Christmas.
Ryan, you know my answer, mate. I'm a big. Like, I'm not saying I don't mind Welbeck, but
he's
I'm
a hater, dude.
Over Welbeck. I'm not. I like Welbeck. I think he does a job. He does a job. I wouldn't go any further than that. But I'd much prefer Maupay over Welbeck any day of the week. I just feel like he brings. I'm not saying Welbeck doesn't bring energy, but I feel like Maupay brings a different type of energy, and he's just the way he works so hard for the team. And we spoke about it last week, his qualities. He's got a lot of qualities. My only thing would be can he finish the chances? But like you said, if we're creating more chances and more high quality chances, maybe he might score more. I don't know. Is that a thing? But to answer your question, I would love to see him start against Southampton, and just be I want him to. I don't know how to explain it, but I'd want him to just be told, or Graham Potter just be look, Maupay, you're my number one choice right now, to the end of the season. Go out there and just play with freedom. Don't worry about whatever's going on, with fans or the media, whatever they might say. Just go out there, enjoy your game, and just score goal. Try your best to grab a couple of goals until the end of the season, and just see where he's at the end of the season, and assess from then. And I just feel I don't know. He's had a lot of sort of hits and misses games where he's had some really good games and then he's had some stinkers, and it's I
think with Maupay
at the moment,
his trouble is he's in the right position nearly every time. His problem is he can't finish because he's always got his back to goal. He gets the ball and say he's got the defender's ear, he's always got his back like this. He's got his back turned every single time, so he's got to turn and shoot, which is why he just pretty much misses every chance he gets, because he doesn't have much of a chance to turn and shoot, because by the time he's done that, someone's tackled him or it's going to go wide. And that's been Maupay's biggest problem. But I wanted to just bring up the fact because Graham Potter has been praising his professionalism over the week, saying about how he's done well with dealing with the fact he's not been in the team as much. Obviously, all the fans sort of like him that probably appreciate what Maupay does, and people say that he's very much a fans player. I think regardless of what people think about Maupay's finishing abilities, everyone can give credit to the fact he does actually care, which I think is what people like him for. But I would give him a go just for now, because obviously Southampton coming up, we could just actually get on to Southampton now, to be honest, because it's going to be an interesting game, I think, because Potter said about Hasenhüttl, a very similar team. There's similarities, obviously there's differences as well between us and Southampton, the way we play. Southampton last night lost 2-0 to Burnley. Burnley keeping their survival hopes alive. Is this one that I know we should be winning? I mean, Southampton haven't lost 9-0 yet this season. Is that something to take from it? But I don't know. But is it a good time to play Southampton, having lost 2-0 to Burnley, or does that mean they're going to be now fired up to beat us? Which seems to be a draw every single time we play Southampton at the Amex.
Yeah. No, it's a good question. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's like, because we got beat 3-0 by Burnley, so it's not like we can't be saying and going, well, they lost to Burnley 2-0. We can't really speak on that, but I don't know. It's a tough one. It's going to be a good game, I think, because they got some quality, mate. Like James Ward-Prowse, like in that centre midfield, I think he's top. Like he's quality.
Easily one of the best midfielders outside the top six.
100%. And like, I'm trying to think of some of the other players, but like, even like Che Adams up top, like he's not quality, but
he's a problem.
He does a job.
He's a problem.
And like,
yeah,
he's a exactly. So like, they've got enough players in there that can cause you problems. And they haven't set the world alight this season. They've been a bit of a meh team.
Kyle Walker-Peters as well is one to really look out for. Kyle Walker-Peters he's rapid up and down that right side, and obviously can cause us a lot of problems. I don't know how we're going to be with that. I think Cucurella should be okay enough. I mean, he's dealt with tougher challenges than Walker-Peters in this season, I think. But I don't know. It's going to be an interesting game, just because, obviously when you lose 2-0 away to Burnley, you have to win your next game, because obviously Southampton fans are going to be fuming if they go and lose against Brighton away.
Stu we had on the podcast, he tweeted us. He's a big Saints fan, and he tweeted going, that was shit. So I was going to message him, be like, well,
he wasn't a Hasenhüttl fan, was he? If I remember rightly, he didn't like Hasenhüttl. He wanted him out.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, he wasn't
a year
too
ago.
fond of him, which is interesting because
it's
interesting though, because I think Hasenhüttl, when he came in, he was unreal, wasn't he, for them? Like he sort of just got them playing really good football, and then I feel like he has fallen off a bit in terms of he rarely gets spoken about, does he? Like really, when you talk about like good managers in the Premier League, he never gets spoken about.
I think he's still a good manager. I think he still gets some playing at times, but they just seem to be susceptible to a drilling every year. I mean, it's weird because they play so well, and then they just, you see them when you see Southampton lose 6-0, you're just like, oh, well, that's their annual drilling that they get. And then, I don't know, it's just such a weird thing with Southampton. They seem to be like so up and down, it's ridiculous. I can never tell whether they're a good team or whether they're absolutely awful. And that's sort of there's never a middle ground with them.
Well, it's the thing, you talk about, you literally say that, yeah? So when they lost 6-0 to Chelsea, they then beat Arsenal 1-0. Like,
that's what I mean.
And then Arsenal just beating Chelsea. So it's like, it's this weird, like you said, it's this weird thing. It's like one day they're like,
they're never
really
average. They're always like great or awful.
Yeah. One player we forgot, and I know you're a big fan because you've mentioned him a few times before. Broha, he is very good,
mate.
Mate.
I went to Southampton away,
you're a big fan.
He absolutely tore us apart. And I don't know, and I hate slandering Duffy nowadays because I really don't mean to, but it's just because you're not good at that anymore. I'm sorry, but I used to be a massive fan of Shane Duffy at the Champ, right? Okay, I don't like slandering him, but it was because he was against Duffy. It was just so simple for Broja to just turn him, and it was done. And that was how they beat us that day. Well, they didn't actually. We got a 98th minute equaliser. But yeah, Southampton away just reminds me of Broja and how he absolutely just he just tore us apart. He was next level, and he's only on loan from Chelsea anyway. This is another conversation about Chelsea's loan players, but. I don't know. It's just going to be tough because it just screams 1-1 to me. It absolutely screams 1-1. It's one of them games where I can't see either team probably winning. It's like, I don't know. I can't see us losing, but I can't see us winning at the same time. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. No, 100%. I think, again, nail on head for the third time today, Ryan. It's been like, it's one of those games where it's I can't really call it, to be honest, just because like you said, you never know what's up, and I suppose it's similar to Brighton, a bit similar to Brighton as well. It's like you never know who you're going to get. Are you going to get the best version of Brighton and Southampton, or are you going to get their worst? So I'm going to go predictions now. I'll go. I like your draw prediction, to be honest. Although, can we nick a win? I don't know.
I think we can. I don't think it's unreasonable.
I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton.
I love that. Yeah, I want us to. Best believe. I mean, we're still on course for breaking our points record. We're still on course for finishing the top half. We're on what? I'm just looking at the table now. 40 points. There's a couple of teams that have actually played a couple less games, and that's Leicester 31 played, the Wolves 32. We're on 33. But we're still on course to potentially finish in that top 10, which would be a very successful season. So I think there's still a lot to. People could say, are Brighton on the beach? Is it time for Brighton to pack up and not really bother for the rest of the season? But there's still something to play for here, 100%. And I think we'll want to win. We have to win this one if we want to finish in that top 10. So I'm gonna say a draw 1-1 with my head, but I think with my heart, I think we can nick something. I didn't actually realise we did beat them back in March 2021 last season away. So they are still there for the taking. I didn't realise we had beaten them. I thought they were just like always banana skin. So I'm still going to say 1-1. I couldn't tell the last time we actually beat them at home, to be honest. But I'm going to say 1-1. You'll say 2-0. Do you think that's fair?
2-1.
Of course, the Wi-Fi goes now. My Wi-Fi went now.
Good going, to be fair. Good going. No, 2-1 for me.
2-1. Sorry, 2-1. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. Right, we've got comments below. Comments below. So comments below. We've got to be positive. I don't want to big up Caicedo anymore. I already have, because I feel like I've talked about him so much. But he's just the man of the moment. I want to give him as much praise as he deserves. You know?
Yeah. Let's do. Yeah. What should we do for Caicedo?
Don't know. Put the Caicedo effect.
Up the Caicedo.
The Caicedo.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice. I like that.
I'll do. Yeah, he's really changed our team. I think that's fine. Right, I think that's about everything, boys. I say boys, boy. I will see you, and we will see you.
Yeah, boys and girls listening.
Boys and girls. We will see you after the Southampton game, when hopefully we do win. And please do like if you're on YouTube, subscribe if you're on new, and obviously keep streaming on Apple and Spotify. And until then, we'll see you later, and goodbye.